This is, again, you're just making stuff up.
I think so.
Memory is not reliable narrator.
doesn't-
No excuses are necessary.
Yeah.
The fact that you don't remember doesn't bother me at all. How's it going?
Tim Olyphant over here.
Sure, that's me.
I'm Sydney Chandler.
Sydney Chandler.
And this is Film First.
With BAFTA. First film I ever saw was? Can't remember. You?
Old Yeller.
I did see that movie, Old Yeller.
That's the first one I
Cried
remember,
like
at
a
least.
baby.
Yeah, it really traumatized me. Taught me about death at too young of an age.
Brutally sad.
Yeah.
Brutally sad.
Yeah.
Did you ever read that Where the Red Fern Grows?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another one.
I know.
And dogs
Cried
dying.
like a baby.
Dogs
Why?
dying at the end.
I know. That's why the cat lives in Alien. That's what's so nice. Yeah. Save the cat.
Way to bring it back. Way to
Save
bring it back
the
on track.
Cat. Thank you.
Let's put me aside for a second. My younger brother used to describe the most horrific films in detail. And then we would ask him, when did you see that? And he'd say, I didn't. Someone just told him all about it. And he would describe it in such detail.
Was it accurate? Did you go back and
Yeah,
watch? Or did
no,
you just
that's
make
what's
up a
hilarious. He did
horrendous
not,
story?
my younger brother hated watching, when my parents would go out, they were always like, no scary movies, because my younger brother would have nightmares. And so we would watch them and kick him out of the room. So we watched a lot of movies we weren't supposed to watch, but then he would listen, and then we'd tell him the movie later, and then he'd go around talking about it as if he'd saw it. All those like Friday the 13th and the Halloween, whatever, yeah, all very, very memorable. You know I'm right, Matt.
The first TV show I was ever obsessed with, and I'm still obsessed with, is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Have you seen it?
No.
What's wrong with you? It's
Well,
so good.
That's a question we've all been
It is
asking.
legitimately so wonderful. You should watch it. You'll
I-
cry, you'll laugh.
Let me tell you a TV show I was obsessed with in high school. A little something called General Hospital.
Nice.
Yeah. We used to get out of school early, my brother and I. Like sophomore, he was a senior, and we would get out early because we didn't have to do PE because we were, like, if you were in a
Like
sport.
you left school early.
You got to leave early.
Okay.
And we would get home like we're athletes, and we would watch the second half of General Hospital. And it turns out if you only watch the second half of General Hospital every day, you're fine. You don't, the second half is all about the second half each day. Bring it all around, there's a little sweet ending. Years later, I'm in New York, and I'm in an acting class, and Laura walked in from Luke and Laura. I know that doesn't mean anything to you.
Nope.
But any of those General Hospital people, they know how exciting that was. I don't know why she was in class. I was like, you're Laura. It just doesn't make any sense. But that was a bit of a thrill.
My first audition was for, I don't remember what type of commercial it was for, but I was told to show my hands, and they said my hands were really small. And I said, yes, they are, and I didn't get it.
It's a good story.
Thank you. That's it.
Take that on a talk show. Don't change a thing. I did auditions. I auditioned for commercials. Oh my God! Someone
Did
said.
you have to do the hand thing?
No, the
Why
hand
do
thing.
they always want the hand thing?
I don't remember. I don't recall the hand
Maybe
thing.
it's new,
But I do
you know.
remember doing commercial auditions. When I was studying acting in New York, and I'd never acted before, so I was committed to a 2-year acting program with no acting experience in my life. But I thought it was a good plan. I started doing commercial auditions, and because they're like, that at least would get me used to being in a room. And it wasn't real acting, and I'd just do that. And then from one of these commercial auditions, I got a call from the casting director asking me to come in for an independent film. And I'd never auditioned for like a real role. It was like this wonderful scene where I'm in tears in this scene. And
Love those auditions.
yeah, it's like a real, work had to be done. And the director says to me, we chatted for a bit. I thought it was all going really well. And he says, all right, well, whenever you're ready, just take your time. Whenever you're ready, we'll do the scene. And so I put my head down for a quick second. And all I could think was, what does he mean by that, whenever you're ready? Like, how much, when he says take your time, how much time is he talking about? Because in class, we would take a lot of time for this kind of thing. And then all I could think was, how much time has already gone by? And all I was in my head thinking, I don't know how much time has gone by, and I don't know how much
Were you
time he
slowly
means.
like mumbling this out
And I was
loud
like, you know
to
what?
yourself as
Fuck it,
well?
I better just start. And I just looked up and started. Nothing had happened. Nothing had changed. And you know what? Similar ending to your commercial audition. I didn't get it.
What was your first day on set like on Alien Earth?
My first day was with Adarsh, and we were on a staircase, and there was fire, and there's water, and there's sparks. And I was really scared, and then I was really giddy. And that's all I remember. It was really fun. We just had to walk up some steps and just chat. Yeah, it was nice.
Sad I don't remember my first day
That's
on
really
set.
sad. That's okay. Is it okay?
I don't know. It's all a blur. I don't mean just this job, all of them. I just remember the feeling.
I remember your first day on set.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we were in the
Oh,
spaceship.
Please do tell.
Yeah, we were chatting. It's the end of the first episode.
The end of the first episode is where we started?
Oh,
It
yes.
is?
Yes.
By the way, we did a great job. I've seen
We
that
did
scene.
a fantastic job.
That was the first day?
We did the thing. Yeah. I think. I'm going with that.
I remember that day.
I
I just
do
didn't
too.
remember it as being the first day.
It was
turned
one
out
of.
great.
We had many first days. It's now my first day too. It was both of our first days.
must
And
have
it
been-
went well.
We'll have to give some of the writing some of the credit.
Yeah, just, yeah. And it was, I don't actually think it was either of our first days now, but that's fine.
Oh, now you've made the whole
I
thing
don't know.
up?
I think you were talking about something else in the spaceship.
Didn't we start with episode 2?
Oh, yes, we did. I was talking to Slightly.
I was going along with this, but
I
really
was talking to Slightly, and you're watching us.
That was the
Yes.
first day.
My first scene with you.
was you guys, the two of you talking.
Yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
just checking
I'm just
it
thinking
out.
about me and my story. So that was your first day in my head.
Oh, first day on Deadwood. Wow, that's
If you
a
remember that one and not this one, there's a problem.
I
So be careful.
no. And all just so we keep all things equal.
Okay.
I do not remember my first day on Deadwood.
There we go.
I do remember shooting the first episode of Deadwood, and I do remember quite vividly the entire 3-year experience, which was very rich. Just, oof, what a special set. I remember my first meeting Milch and Walter Hill. That's a good day in a boy's life, So I very memorable relationships, and Walter Hill was one of those guys who's like sits on an apple box right by the lens. Oh, it's so cool. It's so old school and cool. He'd be like right there, not behind the monitor.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. So cool.
What was your first meeting with each other like?
Well, now I don't remember. I have no idea.
It's a blur to me too.
Yeah, it was probably nice. You were probably really nice and made a joke about something funny.
I don't remember when we. That's terrible.
Well, that was our first scene together, and I really enjoyed doing that.
Do we
scene with
meet on
you.
set? Is that what you're saying? This is again. You're just making stuff
I think
up.
so.
You're making up memories.
Who's to say?
Memory is not reliable narrator.
doesn't
We
work.
all know that.
Maybe someone caught it on like BTS or something.
Yeah, no,
Ask
it's
them.
fine that we don't remember. I'm saying that for you and for me, because that's how people work. They think they remember, but they really don't.
Yeah.
And then they just combine things.
And it was a very long shoot.
Yes.
Like had a whole half a year of life.
No excuses are necessary.
Yeah.
The fact that you don't remember doesn't mean it doesn't bother me at all.
You don't remember either.
That's not the point.
Okay. I think it is.
Do you remember your first day on set of Sugar?
Ooh, yes, I do. I was.
Wow. After you told me not to remember the first day on Deadwood, you're going to remember the first day on your other thing?
There's a lot of like social media stuff, because I'm missing. So there's just a lot of my face missing. Having wonderful Colin Farrell look for Olivia. So I think I was filming something on my phone.
Was that the first day you met him?
Yeah,
Nice.
I do remember that.
Yeah,
He's
that's-
really cool.
That's what I'm trying to say.
He had a guitar.
Jesus.
Where was your guitar?
I should have
If you
brought
only
the
had
guitar.
a guitar.
I had one with me too in Bangkok.
No, you
I
didn't.
could
Don't
have.
remember that.
Well, no, I didn't think to bring it.
Now you know.
Next time.
Next time.